Hey everyone, Andrew Barbuto here. Leading up to the release of my book, Top Sales Producer, How to Crush Your Sales Quota, I'm gonna be covering 10 key concepts that are found throughout the book. Today, I'm gonna discuss the fact that if you wanna be a top sales producer in 2025, you need to become an expert. I regularly meet with a lot of top salespeople, and the one most common trait that they all have is that they typically know the most. They understand their industry inside and out. They're the first ones to know about new updates, and they're also the first ones to inform their customers. Being a seller is not enough. You need to be a strategic consultant that can be an extension of your customers' teams. So what that means is you really need to be an expert in 4 key areas. First is your company. You need to have a thorough understanding of your offering inside and out. You need to understand the technology that powers it, what makes it different, and why it matters to your customers, so that way you can differentiate yourself from the competition. The next one is your industry. Continuously stay on top of the industry trades, read research reports, go to conferences, and listen to relevant webinars. You also need to be an expert on your customers' companies. You need to understand what makes them tick, how they run, what are the operations behind it, what kind of technology that they use, so that way you can speak to the various different stakeholders that you're gonna need to talk to throughout the sales process and beyond. And then finally, you need a strong understanding of financials. It's important to know exactly what goes into running a business. And the best way to understand that is by reviewing the profit and loss statement. The reason why it's important to know that is so that way you know how buying your solution will impact your customer's financial situation. How's it gonna impact their top line revenue? What sort of additional expenses are gonna be required? What resources are gonna allocate towards it? And how it could potentially make them more profitable. You need to make a strong financial case so that way it shows that when they're making this investment, it's a smart one. As a salesperson, you are your company's biggest differentiator, and you could also be your customer's biggest differentiator as well, by arming them with information that will help them beat their competition. When you become an indispensable strategic consultant who's seen as a resource, it's no longer a product versus product conversation. You become somebody that they don't want to lose. My book gives you the system, but it only works if you put in the work and you're an expert on your industry, your company, your solutions, as well as your customers' businesses. And you have a good understanding of the financials that take place within a business. You can grab the ebook now on Amazon, or you can pre-order the physical copy, Top Sales Producer, How to Crush Your Sales Quota. Start shipping out on June 3rd.